Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the hidden stories in corporate filings, and today we're looking at Tharimmune Incorporated. And let me tell you, this filing is a bit of a mixed bag, a financial puzzle with some interesting pieces. Before we dive in, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and become a Corporate Decoder ninja. Also, don't forget to join our growing community on Discord, the link is in the description below. So what is the big news with Tharimmune Incorporated? Well, they've just announced a significant stock offering, and it looks like they're aiming to raise a good chunk of change to fund their digital asset treasury strategy, which sounds pretty cutting edge. The main event here is an underwriting agreement that Tharimmune signed on the 20th of January 2026, with Clear Street LLC acting as the sole underwriter. This agreement is for a registered offering to a single institutional investor. They're offering a good number of shares of common stock and also some pre-funded warrants. The offering price for the common stock is set at $2.92 per S-share. Now here is where it gets interesting. The underwriter isn't paying the full offering price. They're buying the shares from the company at a slightly lower price of $2.80. Per S-share. This difference is essentially the underwriter's commission or fee for facilitating the sale. The company expects to rake in around $55 million before these deductions. This money is earmarked for expanding their Canton-centric digital asset treasury strategy, and for general corporate purposes, that is a fancy way of saying they'll use it for whatever they need to keep the business running and growing. This offering is being done under a previously filed shelf registration statement on Form S-3, which means they had the groundwork laid for selling stock over time. This particular sale became effective just a few days before the underwriting agreement was signed, which shows they were moving quickly. Normally this filing is just a quick mention of the legal framework, but for us it shows they had a plan ready to execute. Let's talk about these pre-funded warrants. They sound complicated, but they're basically a way for investors to buy shares at a very low price in the future. The exercise price is super low, just $0.0001 per S-share, and they don't expire. However, there is a catch. These warrants have a beneficial ownership limitation. What that means is an investor can't exercise them if it would cause them to own more than 4.99% of the company's stock without giving the company a heads up and waiting a period of time. They can increase this limit up to 19.99%, but again, it takes time to adjust. This is a common feature designed to prevent hostile takeovers or a single investor gaining too much control too quickly through these warrants. Now, moving on to another piece of the financing puzzle, Tharimmune also has an at-the-market or ATM program. They have a sales agreement in place to sell up to about $64.9 million worth of common stock. So far, they've raised around $7.1 million through this program. Importantly, one of their agents, President Street Global LLC, terminated its role in December 2025. This means Clear Street, which is the underwriter for this new offering, is also involved in their ongoing ATM sales. This kind of tells us Clear Street is a key partner for Tharimmune's financing needs. And to cap it all off, on the 22nd of January 2026, Tharimmune issued a press release announcing the closing of this offering. This is usually where companies put a positive spin on their news. We'll analyze what that press release tells us beyond the standard corporate speak later. And here we have the standard forward-looking statements section. It is basically a disclaimer telling investors that the company isn't guaranteeing future results. They use words like anticipate, believe, expect, and plan to signal potential future outcomes. But these are based on assumptions and involve risks. Things like market conditions, changes in their industry, or unforeseen events could make their actual results very different from these projections. It's a necessary but often dry part of these filings. This section is all about the documents that back up this report. We see the underwriting agreement, the form of pre-funded warrant, and opinions from their lawyers, Reed Smith LLP. These are exhibits that provide the legal and detailed contractual basis for everything they've announced. The most interesting exhibit for us is the press release, which likely contains the most accessible summary of their recent activities. Finally, we have the signatures. This indicates who is officially signing off on this report. Here it is, Mark Wendland, the Chief Executive Officer of Tharimmune Incorporated. This shows the company's leadership is taking responsibility for the information presented. So, what is my take on all of this? Tharimmune seems to be in an aggressive growth phase. They're raising significant capital to fund a digital asset treasury strategy, which is a bit of a niche but potentially high reward area. The fact that they're using an at-the-market program alongside this larger offering suggests they need consistent funding. The dual role of Clear Street as both underwriter and ATM agent points to a strong established relationship. The pre-funded warrants with their ownership limitations are a clever way to allow for further dilution management while still raising capital. The main risk here is the success of their digital asset treasury strategy itself. It is a new and evolving field, and execution will be key. The company's direction seems set towards innovation in the digital asset space, and this financing is a crucial step in that journey. However, the reliance on external funding and the inherent risks of a new strategy mean investors should proceed with caution, understanding the forward-looking nature of these plans. Alright, that is our breakdown of Tharimmune Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.